Hey, Scientific Discussion. I noticed one of your comments that you put there said that I was really unclear as to what exactly the relationship between descriptive vocabulary is and determinism. And so, yeah, I put together a little slideshow here for you, and it's kind of long, so let's get right to it. Normative versus descriptive, and what does this have to do with determinism versus free will? Okay, let me get this out of the way right away. My bad, okay? My first one was poorly stated and confusing. I didn't mean to suggest that all descriptive theories are deterministic theories. Now, obviously that's not the case. Rather, just like all men are people, but not all people are men, all deterministic theories are descriptive theories, but not all descriptive theories are deterministic. All right, that is what I wanted to say. Okay, this is just a quick slide here saying I'm not making this up. This is not any original research at all. What I'm about to tell you is pure regurgitation, and I've given some references here in case you're more interested. Okay, normative versus descriptive, once more. Okay, the mnemonic is the car's speed to a speedometer. Descriptive, my car is going 80 miles per hour. Normative, my car should be going only 65 miles per hour. And descriptive ones are suitable for strict deterministic laws. Normative characterizations are not suitable for strict deterministic laws. But of course, not everything which is descriptive is deterministic. But with normative vocabulary, there's no hope of using normative vocabulary for forming deterministic laws from norms. Okay, you can't tell just from the speed limit sign how fast the cars are going. All right. Now, what does normative and descriptive have to do with the deterministic versus free will debate? Okay, now this is a very fair question. All right, now to illustrate this, let me give you the parable. This is the parable of the unfair math question. Right? Consider the following two math questions. Math question number 1, framed purely in descriptive vocabulary. Fred drives his car at a constant rate of 70 miles per hour for 1 hour. 1 hour later, how far has he traveled? Now, there's only one correct answer to this. We have a precise description, and there's only one way that this can be answered. We can deterministically predict from the basis that we're given exactly where Fred will be in 1 hour. So this is a fair math question. Math question number 2, right? This is stated in normative vocabulary. Fred drives his car on a highway where the speed limit is 65 miles per hour for 1 hour. 1 hour later, how fast has he traveled? Now, who knows? Is he speeding? Is there a lot of traffic? Is he going very slow? We can make good guesses. I mean, it's not like we're totally in the dark about where Fred is going to be in an hour, but we can't deterministically predict where Fred is going to be just from this normative information. All right? Now, for those of you who don't like math and are English majors or others in the humanities, I'll also give another one using English, right? So suppose you're in English 101 and you spend all semester and the professor's having you memorize the New York Times Manual of Style and Usage. So by the end of the semester, you know everything normative there is to know. You know all the rules that the editors of the New York Times use to allow an article into the New York Times. You know every possible rule about it. All right, and you walk into the final exam, and the professor gives you, which one of these questions would you rather see on the final exam? Question number 1. Write a 100-word essay which conforms to the New York Times Manual of Style and Usage. Or, question number 2, write down the first 100 words of the lead story for tomorrow's New York Times. Just imagine a conversation you might have with your professor if you find the second question on your final exam. You go to the professor and say, there's no way I can tell. How could I possibly know what's going to be on New York Times? And he'll tell you, well, dude, I gave you every single rule. You know every normative thing about what is going to appear in New York Times tomorrow. You know that, the words will be spelled right. You know how long it'll be. You know that the third person voice is going to be used in appropriate fashion. Okay, even though you know every normative thing there is to know about how stories appear in the New York Times, there's no possible way you can predict from the normative information exactly what's going to be there. Now, free will, knowledge about people. So what is the most important kind of knowledge that we have about people? Is it normative knowledge or is it descriptive knowledge? Well, let me put it to you this way. What's more important, the color of somebody's skin or how honest they are? Now, another way of phrasing how honest they are is,
is which X's, where X is a sentence or a proposition, which X's they believe that they should tell you. That's a propositional attitude about someone, their honesty. What is more important, the gender somebody is or how much education they have, how many X's they know? And knowledge is also, a propositional attitude. So, yeah, I think it's pretty clear. What's the most important thing to know about people is really, their propositional attitudes is far more important than any particular physical fact about them. Right? Now, suppose you're going to try and predict the behavior of people. So here's the scenario. Your boss walks into your office. Now, what information will help you better predict what happens next? Okay, first one is the descriptive one. Your boss's density is very close to 1 gram per cubic centimeter, which is true. We're mostly water, right? Or number 2, your boss is very angry about a report you wrote. Okay, now, propositional attitudes give you the best way, but of course not a foolproof way, of predicting the behavior of people. And for this reason, the English language has thousands of propositional attitudes. Fears, hopes, desires, believes, prefer, hate, love. All this kind of stuff, right? Why do we make so many distinctions? Why do we attribute so many propositional attitudes to people? Because these help us understand what people have done, and they help us predict what they're going to do. Oh, the irony, right? Normative information just can't be used to formulate strict deterministic laws. I'll say it once again. If you know the speed limit sign, there's no way you can formulate a strict deterministic law which will predict how fast the cars are going on that road. But it's about the only way we have of predicting people's behavior. And it's definitely the best way. Okay, so therefore, pragmatically speaking at least, we really do have to treat people as if they had free will. Now, the irony part 2. This is not to prejudice the issue. I don't know if free will is true or not. But, right, who the hell cares what's true? Pragmatists are all about what is useful. And the most useful way of dealing with people is as if they had free will.
So yeah, this is about the best I could do in a 7-minute video as to exactly, what the relationship between descriptive, normative, free will, and determinism is. I'm sure I haven't cleared up everything, so if there's more questions, just let me know what you'd like me to talk about. Thanks a lot.